Awesome. Awesome. So, thank you, Kyle. You guys doing a great job. I'm really proud of you, Kyle, too. You've really knocked it out of the park these last couple of years and grown your agency. Um, so my hat's off. So here's what I wanted to do today. So we always, again, Tuesday calls, guys, are either about habits, skills, or attitude. So today, I'm going to talk about skills. So today's going to be a little technical training. And what I wanted to do, because I've been training with Cameron Beach, who, by the way, so just a little shout out to Cameron. I missed the call yesterday, so I don't know if Cam won the quick start bonus. Last week was his 4th week, so he got over 10,000. So I'm just super proud of Cam and what he's been able to do in his first 4 weeks. But in sharing with Cam, we were running into AFLAC objections. So what I wanted to do with everyone today is cover and we all kind of have our spin on things, but I'm just going to go over how I kind of cover the AFLAC objection. And I'm going to cover it in 2 places, because you're going to get the AFLAC objection in calling on businesses. You'll get it there, like we already offer it. But you may also get the AFLAC objection when we're sitting down with a prospect. You know, maybe you got referred over to someone, or you know, it's just a referral, or maybe you were, you know, knocking on the doors or whatever. So, and then you're sitting down with someone, and then you may get the AFLAC objection in your one-on-one demo with that person. So there's kind of 2 ways to handle when you get that. And I'm saying AFLAC objection, that just means any supplemental insurance. So maybe they have, because it depends on what area you're in, what's more predominant. Maybe it's colonial, you know, maybe it's combined, or but there's other supplemental insurances out there. So where I'm at up in Virginia, we run into AFLAC all the time. That's pretty much about it.
Hey, Doug.
But they are, yeah.
That's combine.
Yeah.
Down here in North Carolina, that's combine.
Combine. Yeah. Yeah, like you drive a combine, that's how you plow fields and use a combine.
Right? Exactly.
So there's 2. So I'm going to cover 2. So the first one I'm going to go over with is how do you handle it when you're calling on a business or a business owner, and they give you the objection. Hey, we already offer AFLAC, right? So I'm going to just kind of go through it. I'm going to kind of role play with myself, and I'll probably do a little sidebar along the way and kind of explain to you kind of what I'm doing and why I'm doing certain things. But so you run into, they go, hey, you know what? Hey, we already offer AFLAC here. So the first thing you should say is perfect or great. And this is something that I think Trish would say, and I kind of picked up, she goes, great. Hey, if you like AFLAC, you're going to love us, right? So that's kind of the first thing. So great. So you just, hey, lift them up, praise them, perfect. And then you can ask them something like, well, how long have you guys offered AFLAC? You know, how long have you offered it? And then another one you can ask, you know, how many of your people participate? And the reason why I ask that question is because oftentimes what you're going to get is they go, we don't really have that many people participate. So when they say that, that's kind of your cue to go, why do you think that is? And oftentimes it plays right into your hand. You say, well, why do you think not that many people participate? And oftentimes they might say something, well, I think they feel like, you know, they're paying a lot of money for something that, you know, gosh, if they don't ever need to use it, they feel like they kind of wasted their money, and that's, you know, they're not making a great income here, and it's a lot of money to someone to spend, you know, 30, 50, $80 a month on something that they might not use. So guys, that'll play right into your hand, and then you can go into, well, you know what, Mr. Business Owner, that's why we're here. We're totally different, right? You know, our unique competitive advantage is the fact that for our clients, if you don't use your coverage, you're going to get your money back. So it's really, people love it, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of leave it at that. And then you go, so then I always want to just take the pressure off of them. They may have a great relationship with their AFLAC person. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. Sometimes they don't care, right? So I just say, hey, listen, I'm not here to kick out your AFLAC guy or AFLAC gal, right? They're a good company. In fact, they do a few things that we don't do, like dental, vision, disability. We just do the supplemental piece, like cancer plans, heart plans, critical illness plans, accident plans. We just do that the best. And then you can reiterate the return of premium. And then I usually go, you know what? Again, not trying to get rid of them, but what a lot of business owners, like they tell me, is that they want to have the best product on the market for their employees, right? So you can third party here. So what I mean by third party for people that are newer is when you're in sales as a sales rep, people, our prospects, believe about half of what you're telling them, right? Because you're the sales rep, right? You have an ulterior motive. You want to make a sale. You want to make money. So you're suspect to them from Jump Street, right? They believe the majority. They believe most of what other people say, and of course, they believe 100% of what they say. So a lot of our presentations, you guys know, we ask a lot of questions to get them talking because they believe, what they're saying. But anyway, so what I do here a lot of times is use a third party. I use one of my other employers who made it available to their people. So I'll go back so I gotta say, listen, I'm not here to get rid of Aflac, but what a lot of business owners tell me is that they want to have what's best on the market, what's best out there for their employees. It's kind of like Frank Poirier said over at Poirier Flooring. He goes, Doug, I don't know how many of my people are going to participate in something like this, but who am I to decide, what's best for them and their families? So I'm going to make it available to them. My employees are like family to me, and I would hate to see them go through a financial hardship due to some sort of illness or accident, and I didn't at least make them aware of something like this. Because most business owners want to attract and retain the best people, so they want to have the best thing out there on the market. So here's the thing, Mr. Business Owner. Our unique competitive advantage over Aflac, kind of twofold. Number one, I already mentioned it, we have a returner premium. That just means if you're my client, you stay healthy, you don't use your coverage, you got a piggy bank. You're going to get your money back, like a savings account. If you need it, obviously it's like a bottomless cookie jar. It can pay you unlimited amount of money when you're sick, tens of thousands of dollars. So kind of a win-win. Here's the second thing that makes us uniquely different and our unique competitive advantage over Aflac. We don't have to run this through your payroll. So you can offer this to your people without having to put it through payroll. It's not going to be any type of HR headache for you to deal with, none of that nonsense. You're not in the, you're a business owner. You got your business right. You're not in the premium collection business. So we only have one-tier pricing. So whether it's a payroll or non-payroll, we can do both, but it doesn't matter to us. So if you don't want to deal with the whole payroll deduction thing, we're our guy. Same price. So you can make it available to your people. It doesn't cost your business a dime. It puts you in a good light, Mr. Business Owner. You get to wear the white hat for the day, be the hero, offer some great benefits to your people. You're going to get great participation because of that returner premium. People feel like they're not wasting their money. They're going to get their money back. And plans can start as low as $3 a week. So when is your next meeting? When's your next staff meeting, safety meeting? When do you get the troops together? And I say that because all we do is just plug into your meeting. I just talk for 10 minutes in front of your group. And then I just follow up with just those folks that are interested in hearing the details of our plan, like how does it work? How much does it cost? How do I get my money back? So we just follow up with those folks, and I can do that on their time. So I don't have to follow up with them and take away from their time on your clock. I can follow up with them before work, after work, lunch breaks. I can meet them at their home. I can meet them at the McDonald's, the Starbucks. I can meet them anywhere. But it doesn't have to be on your time. I'm also known as the donut guy. I'll bring in some donuts to your meeting, get them all hopped up on a sugar high, and then I'll present the program to them. So when is your next meeting? Right? So I'm just very assumptive, and that'll work if you just assume, hey, when's your next meeting? When can I plug into your next meeting? And I know during this COVID deal, a lot of businesses are not having meetings right now, but I even offered to zoom into them. In fact, one lady did offer that. I haven't followed through and set that up yet, but she says, well, we could do it. You're welcome to present to her at a Zoom meeting. So that's an option too, as well, because businesses are meeting via Zoom, just like we're meeting via Zoom. So that's so what I did with there. I just kind of, the whole purpose of what I did, hopefully you picked up on it, is you gotta, we're just trying to sell the business owner to offer this to their people, right? So I'm trying to see it from the business owner's point of view, and I let other business owners make the points for me. And for the business owner, you want to say something, hey, most business owners want to attract and retain the best people, so they can do it with these products, right? So I want to point that out. I also want to point out to them that plans can start as low as $3 a week, right? Because sometimes they might say something along the lines of, well, I don't think any of my people could afford anything. So that's why I throw that in there, right? And plans can start as low as $3 a week, right? So that's like a base cancer plan, right? $12 a month. So I'm just letting them know that the plans can be pretty darn inexpensive. So I don't want that to be a barrier to them making this available to their people, because sometimes they try to make decisions for their people without actually bringing it up and actually talking to their people. That's kind of, in a nutshell, that's kind of what I say or will say, or parts of that. You take what you get when you're in the field, and if they're willing to listen, you can cover a lot of ground and cover a couple key points. And sometimes you can't go to all those things, but that's just some of the key things that I like to express to people to come across to the business owners, so they would make it available to their staff. Now, I'm switching gears here, and I'm going to switch it over to, okay, so say you have an appointment with someone, you have a referral, like Toy works a ton of referrals, right? So he's following up with people at their home, setting up appointments with people. So he didn't meet them at the job, or, a lot of these are just sitting down with people in their homes. So sometimes when you're just sitting down with someone, they're going to give you an Aflac objection too, right? So we just want to make sure that we can overcome those objections when we're sitting down with people as well. So whenever you get someone comes to you, you're sitting down with them, you're building a rapport, and then you go, hey, and then they kind of figure out what you're doing. They go, hey, listen, I already have that, or I already have Aflac. Great, that's awesome. How long you had it? So first off, I want to praise them. I want to lift them up, and that's great. How long have you had it? A lot of people don't know stuff like this even exists. And then I'll say something like, hey, what made you get that? And all I'm doing there, guys, I'm looking for their hot button. What's their story? What's their cancer story? Who do they know that went through cancer? Say, what made you get that cancer plan or something like that, right? What made you get it? Well, my sister went through cancer, or my brother, or my aunt, and I saw how it really done. Right? So you're just trying to kind of find, oh, that's awesome. Hey, now, and I'm going to pause there, because that's you sitting down with them. Now, sometimes you're going to get where they're going to say something like, hey, I already got that at work. So if you ever get that one, all right, we already have Aflac at work. Great. Your next question, your knee-jerk reaction to that question is, oh, that's great. That's awesome. Which Aflac plan do you participate in? So that's got to be your next question. Well, which plan do you participate in? Because I would probably say, anecdotally, probably over 50% of the time when people throw that out to me, they don't have it. They don't own it, right? It's a smokescreen type excuse. They don't really know, they know it's something like Aflac, so it's almost a throwaway excuse not to listen to you. So you want to pin them down and go, well, which plan do you participate with Aflac, right? Oftentimes they don't, oh, I don't have any, but I just know they offer it at work. Oh, great, right? So, and you can even follow, hey, why didn't you, did you look into it, or why didn't you get it? And, it could play into your hand too if they go, well, you pay a lot of money, you never use it, so that plays right into your hand, right? That sets you up for success. But, so if they do have it, you go, great, which ones do you participate in? And then they go, well, you're going to find out that most of the time they have a disability policy, right? So So that's fine. You know, that we're not competing with disability. It's just it's a different beast, totally different. And I can show you. Well, I can maybe go into that too, how to overcome the disability objection. But I'm gonna write that down so I'll forget to do it at the end. So what you want to do there, so that's a smoke screen. So they go disability, or maybe they've got the accident plan or hospital. Great. Hey, listen, no big deal. We're just totally different. So you always want to use the words totally different. Now, say they have a cancer plan and that's our flagship product and that's the one, you know, they can get more than one plan. So I would say, hey, that's awesome. You know, ask them the questions, why'd you get it? How long you had it? What made you get it? And hey, I'm not here. That's awesome that you have that. You know, not everyone knows that those, I'm not here to replace your Aflac. In fact, this enhances what you already have, but it's totally different. So that's kind of that's your go-to line, right? Hey, I'm not here to replace your Aflac. You know, you can tell them the same thing. Hey, they're a good company. In fact, this enhances what you already have, but it's totally different. Not trying to get you to cancel your Aflac. In fact, I would encourage you to keep what you already have. But most people who already have a cancer plan, they want to see how it stacks up, right? So that's for people that already have a cancer plan, right? You already know it, so you say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to get rid of your Aflac, your cancer plan. In fact, I'd encourage you to keep it. So you can use things like, you know, we enhance what you already have, or it works right alongside what you already have. You can say things like that. And then you can read a testimonial if they're kind of giving you a little smoke screen and kind of a little flack in the beginning because I already have something. And I'm going to pull it up on my screen if you guys are in front of your computer. There's a couple of them. There's Clark, Beck, one. I just didn't have that here. I've got that in my iPad, but I don't have it on my computer. Another great testimonial letter to read at this point is Mary Tyler. So you want to read the right testimonial at the right time. So this is Mary Tyler, and we paid them about $33,000, and I just read the whole thing. I'm going to read it to you right now. She goes, I got diagnosed 2 years, 4 months ago. Family Heritage saved us financially from going bankrupt. I couldn't work for the first 7 months. No paycheck. Took 6 months for disability to kick in. What a peace of mind that first occurrence benefit was. You can't imagine all of the added expenses until you, she underlines you, are actually going through it. They have paid faithfully the whole way through. If you keep your claims going in, they will continuously pay you. I had a cancer policy before this one that was only $14 every 3 months, and let me tell you, you get what you pay for. We've only received $750 total from that one. This policy might cost a little bit more, but it's an unlimited amount that they pay. You will never get cut off. Don't know what we would have done without it. Thanks, Family Heritage. And thanks to my agent, Janelle Stanford. God bless Mary Tyler. So I read that one, and then I say this. I go, listen, Ms. Jones, I'm not saying that your Aflac or your Colonial Plan is going to pay you $750 and we're going to pay you $33,000. It's not what I'm saying. But most people like to see kind of how they do stack up. So that's giving you more ammunition just to open their minds up. And you're just kind of letting a third-party person, you're letting Mary Tyler be your voice, be your mouthpiece. It's not coming from you because you're the salesperson. It's coming from someone else telling their story. So it just helps kind of open up a little bit of a crack in that armor so that they'll open their mind up to listen to you. Maybe it puts a little shadow of a doubt in your prospect's mind that, hey, maybe I don't have the end-all, be-all cancer plan, or maybe it's not everything it's cracked up to be. Let me hear what you got to say. So you want to read either that one, Clark Beck, and you guys may have some newer ones. These always have been my go-to testimonial letters to people who already had cancer plans. But you're just putting doubt in their head. And when you're talking to someone, never say something like, hey, yeah, we're kind of like Aflac, right? So you always want to use the words, because if you think about it, if you say, hey, we're kind of like Aflac, what are they thinking? They're thinking, well, if it's kind of like Aflac, I already got Aflac. What do I need you for? So you could say something like, hey, similar vein, but totally different, right? You always want to use the words totally different when you're talking to someone who already has an Aflac in place for them or their family, whatever it is, whether it's the cancer, whether they had the accident, whether they had their hospital indemnity, disability, whatever. And you don't want to, if you're initially coming in and they go, I already have an Aflac cancer plan, great. But you don't want to be combative as well. So if you know, you don't want to come at them right away with, well, do they give you your money back, right? That's kind of combative, right? You are challenging them. So you never want to do that. You always want to praise them and lift them up for having Aflac, praise Aflac. That's a great company, because you never ever want to poo-poo the competition. You never want to say anything bad about the competition. You just poke holes in things by reading testimonials, telling other people's stories. So you never want to poo-poo them, because what happens when you say, Aflac they don't give you your money back, right? Now, actually, they can. So just so you guys know that. So if you do run into someone that says, yeah, they do, they can. They have to buy a rider for that return of premium rider. So it just kind of makes them a lot more expensive than we are, but they can do it. So you don't want to challenge them on that anyway, because here's what's going to happen. It's going to backfire on you, because all they're going to do is defend. They're not going to defend Aflac, but they're going to defend their decision to pick up the Aflac, right? They're going to defend, I picked up Aflac at work because I thought it was a good idea. Now, if you're telling them, they don't give you your money back, blah, 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 then they're going to be like, wait a minute. So they're going to dig their heels in, and then they're going to back up their decision to get the Aflac. So you want to open their mind up to listen to you, to maybe consider other options. And maybe if they have a cancer plan, layer them on top of each other. So this is another place where I like to use a third-party story with people that already have a cancer plan. So I always, because I have one of my clients so you guys probably at some point have clients that have bought a cancer plan from you, but they already had a cancer plan, and you could probably use them as an example. So if I usually say, at some point I'll bring up the fact, I say, it's kind of like one of my clients, Barbara Washington. Here's what she said. She goes, Doug, I already had 2 cancer policies at work. She goes, but I have a strong family history of cancer. I've seen too many people go through cancer, and you can't have too much money coming in when you're dealing with cancer. So she picked up a third cancer plan from me. And she goes, you know what? I'm keeping my other 2 cancer plans at work, but I look at those like rent, right? I pay my monthly premium. If I need to use it, they're going to put a roof over my head. Basically, they're going to pay me benefits, right? But if I don't use it, my rent money, my premiums are gone. They're gone. With you guys, though, it's a lot more like a mortgage, right? I pay my monthly premium. If I need it, you put a roof over my head. You pay me great benefit. But at least if I never need to use it, I'm going to get that money back. So I'm actually owning something. I'm not renting it. So a lot of times I'll let a third party, a person, point out the difference in kind of an analogy or a metaphor to renting versus owning, so that I'm not going, whoa, hey, they don't give you your money back. You just kind of help open their eyes up by letting someone else tell a story about, why they picked up an additional plan with us, even though they may already have an Aflac plan. So let Barbara Washington, point that out for me on my behalf, saying, hey, you can't have too much money coming in when you're going through something like that. So that's kind of when you're sitting down with someone and going through, face to face with one of your prospects, kind of how to overcome the Aflac objection. And also, here's a bonus one, like your disability. Sometimes people say, well, I already got great disability through work, right? And kind of the way to overcome that is, and I don't usually say it right away because I don't want to be a little bit confrontational. So I'll hold that in my back pocket, and then when it makes sense in a couple minutes in our conversation, I'll say, it's kind of like a third party. So again, I usually combat people's objections by telling a third-party story. So I said, it's kind of like, I was talking to a guy last week, and he goes, Doug, I already have great disability insurance through my job, but I already have enough trouble, and this is where you can use your hands, the hands go up and down like we do in our presentation. And he goes, I already have enough trouble living on 100% of my income. And I moved my hand down. He goes, and I can only imagine trying to live on, 60, 65% of my income and go through something like cancer. And then he looked over at his wife and he said, and then if my wife were dealing with something like cancer, I'm certainly not working a whole lot. I'm going to be taking care of my wife. And my disability insurance, it ain't going to be paying me a dime. I'm not disabled. My wife is going through some stuff. So it's not going to pay me to miss all that time off of work. This just makes sense. So that kind of enhances my disability. So that's just a way to kind of point out the pitfalls with the whole disability is the end all be all as well. So you're trying to poke holes in that as well. So with that, guys, I covered kind of a lot of ground. I wanted to cover the disability. We're kind of up at the 8:30 mark, which is when we like to kind of end these calls. If you have any questions, you are welcome to blurt out a question. And Kyle, if you want to add anything, you're welcome to add something too.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug.
Yeah, man.
I would just tell everybody, guys, to everybody that's new out there, you're going to hear Aflac all the time, but it is a smokescreen. Most of the time, oh, we got Aflac. Awesome. If you like what Aflac does, you'll love what we do. You're not saying anything bad about them or, hey, we have Aflac. Great. This is totally going to shorten up the learning curve. Guys, it's okay to accept that they have Aflac because what we do is different and it's better. But, Doug, great information. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Doug.
Good addition.
Yeah. Just want to kind of piggyback off of what Todd said. First off, thank you for going over that. I think that's something super important for everyone to hear, either again or for the first time. And just kind of like I said, piggyback off Todd, if you run into people who have Aflac, guys, that's not a no, right? That's just to tell me more information, please. I can't tell you how many people that myself, and I'm sure everyone on this call has been here for, at least a couple months, have sat down with people who have Aflac, and they see what we do, they see the differences, and they still pick it up, okay? And sometimes those are some of my best customers are people that said, hey, Josie, I got Aflac, I'm good to go. You spend that time with them, congratulate them for having it, and then just kind of move forward. But, yeah, Doug, thank you so much for going over this. Super helpful.
Hey, Doug, Van here. I just real quickly just wanted to shoot out that the people that buy Aflac, they're proven buyers. They buy from people that come to their business. So hang out with them. Just like those people that have no soliciting signs on the front of their deal. They put them up there because they buy things and they're trying to save themselves. So go straight to them and get them a demo. They'll buy again. Great job today, by the way. This must sound very familiar.
Great. That's a great point. Like, I remember when I first started, a good point, that would be always, oh man, you kind of like, you're like, oh, they already got what I offer, right? If you're going door to door or whatever, and you're talking to, oh man, they already got it. You kind of walk away with your tail between your legs. Whereas after you realize, you're like, that's great. Because like you said, man, that means they already like it. They already understand it. They bought it before, they can buy it again. So that's a great point. Thanks for sharing that.
Dougie, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Real quick. Just like anything else, the first time you try it, it's probably not going to work. So definitely practice it. They're looking to see what your reaction is in the first few seconds when they go, hey, I got Aflac. So you definitely want to practice in the mirror, in the bathroom, wherever. But also understand that, just like Van said, they're buyers. And, of course, know your audience. But when you look out into the parking lot, you can ask them, hey, it seems like everybody's driving a different vehicle. Why is that? Us Americans, we like options. Here is another option. And, again, know your audience. Don't screw that up too severely, but just let them know, hey, would you agree that us Americans, we like options? is another option that you might fit a little bit better.
Good point.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
America.
Hey guys, so with that, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for all of you being on today. I appreciate it. Good luck to you. Use this, bits and pieces. I recorded it. Don't know how it works, but I recorded it to the cloud, Van. So if you want to retrieve this somehow, I'm going to stop the recording now. Let's see if yes, when the cloud is recording.